Hey, hey guys, what's up? This is Teddy Macedo, aka bearRimshot's speaking. Sorry I've been months late in making this one. No, in case you guys are wondering what took me so long, there was a lot of video watching did, but not as much as the last Mr. Code Awards vlog I did. However, as I was already finished with my video watching, this is the moment where I'd be busy, I'd be busy doing other special vlogs as well. And as for in regards to the whereabouts, in regards to casual reviews of bearRimshot, I'll save that for next time. Anyways, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys what are my thoughts on the 5th annual Mr. Code Contributor Awards. Today, let's start off with what are my thoughts on the best special guest appearance with Diamanda Hagen for Huey's Animated Movie Reviews, Winds of Change. To be very honest with you, I thought she does a pretty good job. Now, I especially remember when Diamanda Hagen served Count CGI for Huey's Animated Movie Reviews, The Groovenians. And, yeah. As for my thoughts on Best Top Number List, episode 9 entries and under being Morgan's Top 5 Muppet Christmas Specials. Pretty good, I will say. So far, the only Muppet Christmas special I've seen so far will be the Muppet Christmas Carol. Though speaking of the Muppets, this morning I saw a Muppet movie at my local Alamo. Which Muppet movie, may ask? It's the one where the Muppets go to Manhattan, and, it's up to Kermit the Frog and the gang to run this Broadway musical. Yeah, that's the one. That was the Muppet movie I saw. And in the end of there, you do get to see some Sesame Street characters in there with the likes of Big Bird, Cookie Monster, Bert, and Ernie. But, yeah. No, did anyone ever notice that both Ernie and Kermit the Frog sound alike? But anyways, all joking aside, as for what are my thoughts on Best Top Number List episode, 10 entries over being Animat's Top 10 Controversial Episodes, oh boy, guess I need to go on the Animation Look Back Wiki again for that. Darn it. Come on. Just no Johns, please. Thank you. Darn it, not again. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. As for what do I think about number 10 being Coonskin, well, let's just say, I'm definitely going to take Animax's word and watching it. As for what do I think about number 9 being the Boondocks, well, I will say this, I remember I used to watch it sometimes back in high school. looks pretty good from what I've seen. Definitely takes animation seriously as an art medium. As for what do I think about the Ren and Stimpy episode, Man's Best Friend? Pretty good episode, though my favorite episode of Ren and Stimpy, particularly when we speak about the adult party cartoon alone, would be the one where Ren and Stimpy are at this beach, and they're around a bunch of ladies. As for what do I think about number 7, being Aladdin, now as much as I'm personally shocked to hear that there'll be controversy surrounding that movie, I still can understand why that is when we speak about this misquote that people in general can't get into. As for what do I think about the Family Guy episodes, Extra Large Medium, and Richard Upon Weinstein? Now, Extra Large Medium I haven't seen, but as for when you wish upon Weinstein, well, I thought it's a pretty good episode, I must say. As for what do I think about the Simpsons episode, Blame It on Lisa? Well, let's just say, funny story about that Simpsons episode. I often like to think that the reason why my dad hates The Simpsons is all just because of that one episode, considering the fact that they portrayed Brazilians as baddies. Which would also mark a similar reason why my dad would prefer coffee over tea and garlic over onions, alongside the medical issue in regards to that, on why he would prefer garlic over onions, as well as why he would put a lot of salt in his food. Oh yes, people, his doctors would literally approve that. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this crap up. But anyways, moving on. That's what do I think about Pokemon episode on the Pokemon episode Electric Soldier Porygon. Haven't seen that episode, in all honesty. However, I did used to watch Pokemon when I was a kid, but I do sometimes watch it whenever I feel like it. Though when we speak about Pokemon, I especially remember when Anima did previously talk about Pokemon in another countdown in the form of the movie Pokemon Lucario and the Mysteries of Mew in his top 10 best animated sequels countdown. I'm definitely going to make sure I watch that ASAP. As for what do I think about number 3 being South Park, let's just say I just knew he had to talk about it one way or another. As for what do I think about number 2 being Song of the South, I just also knew, just like with South Park, I just knew that for Song of the South, that Anima did also have to talk about it as well. Haven't seen the movie just yet, but I'm open to whenever I can. I would love to see Song of the South. As for what do I think about number 1 being The Sensitor 11? Let's just say I'm indifferent. However, one inappropriate cartoon of the Looney Tunes that Warner Brothers did that I like would be this one Bugs Bunny cartoon where Yosemite Sam is portrayed as if he was hating on the Yankees. I especially remember back when I was still in middle school, ever since then, even up to this day, whenever people dare come disrespecting me for who I am, especially as a content creator, this is the moment where I would jokingly think as if they were if they're haters of the New York Yankees and supporters of the New York Mets. Which I would not only think of something like that about someone like Mr. Genevieve, but also the same can also be said about Arian Markusevic, Anik Banerjee, Ruth Fernandez, Devontae Jones, Izzy Natkin at one point, and also at one point Max Aronson, as well as Ethan Brown, Mr. Harden, Mr. Ben, and yes, even Morgan Ledger. I would be considered as a Mets fan boy, as well as Suzuki Guardian, Caleb Korger, Alexander Mirabella, Chrissy Trotta, Mia Ray, and Steph Elton, all there. I've been picturing all these people as well as Mike Mixtape as people who, in terms of rooting on a certain baseball team that set in New York, they might as well root on the Mets than the Yankees. Based on what my favorite baseball team is, I'd go with the Yankees any day. And I literally mean any day. But, yeah. I rest my case. Anyways, as what do I think about the honorable mention? Being the Annie Awards DreamWorks animation scandal. I remember when Animad did briefly do a video talking about all that years ago. Although, as much as I love DreamWorks, I do agree with Animad that every animation studio should be treated equally. Funny enough, I feel the same way about Pixar having to win an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature every single time. As there are some other movies they could have nominated instead of Pixar. Don't get me wrong, I love Pixar. So we got movies like Horton Hears a Who, that's great. Wreck-It Ralph, that is great. And, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Oh, by the way, before I go on, I almost forgot to mention, in case you guys are wondering what do I think about the opening for the 5th Mr. Code Awards, let's just say I find it to be a really, really nice touch, I will say. I really like the opening. At least it's really cool to see some contributors being interviewed. Now, for more information about all the Mr. Code contributors, both past and present, I will put all the links down in the description below. But anyways, moving on, as what do I think about for the winner for Best Writing for an Individual Episode being Animation Look Back, Brene for Animation Look Back to Ghibli Part 1. It's pretty good. As for what do I think about animation, the winner for Best Multi-Part Episode being Animation Look Back Studio Ghibli. Just like with every other episode of Animation Look Back, I've learned a lot. However, I am happy to see that Animad would finally consider looking into talking about some movies that are rated PG-13. With the likes of Nausicaa the Valley of the Wind, The Castle of Cagliostro, what else? As well as Princess Mononoke, The Wind Rises, and Tales from Earthsea. And speaking about The Castle of Cagliostro, that's how I got into not just that particular movie alone, but also the entire Lupin the Third franchise in general. And I especially remember during my first day at film class, the Detective Steve did do a review of that same movie. And when the Detective Steve did get to do a review of The Castle of Cagliostro, I personally did compare that movie to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You guys may be wondering, how did I do that? Well, guys, it is worth pointing out that both the Castle of Cagliostro and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the one thing that both the Castle of Cagliostro and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory both have in common is the fact that story-wise, it may be unfaithful towards the original source materials that each of these movies happen to be based off of, but in the end of the day, at least it's very excusable for having some enjoyable moments here and there. But yeah. And yeah, and I especially remember when Animat himself did later on do a classic review of that same movie. It is no surprise to see it get the Animat seal of approval deserved. So yeah, once animation look back to Ghibli has finally been made, this is a moment where I managed to watch The Castle of Cagliostro on my Hulu account, on my dad's Hulu account. Boy, did I really enjoy it. I would like to see it again whenever I can. But yeah. Anyways, moving on. As for what do I think about this animation series being animation look back? Already addressed it, so moving on. As for what do I think about the winner for best audio commentary being Animax's top 10 other Disney villains? I thought it's pretty interesting. So what do I say? I'm surprised to see that Animat did not include any Disney Toon Studios villains, not even Zero, since I know how much Animat loves Zero. And at the same time, I can understand why the Fridge Animat would consider putting Jeffrey Katzenberg onto that same countdown. As for what do I think about best editing being James Sullivan for Hymitude, well, let's just say, one video I will consider talking about in this case will be one where Hymitude did do a commentary on From Pages to Pictures, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And so I will say this, it's pretty good. However, I'm really shocked to hear that Hymitude literally knew about this Facebook post I personally made in the Mr. Coat fan club years ago. Not sure how he knew that, about that, even though he already blocked me, but yeah. As to what do I think about the winner for Best Comedic Series being Some Jerk with a Camera? As for what do I think about Back to the Future? Thought it's pretty good. As for what do I think about The Simpsons? Also pretty good. I especially remember when Did You Know Gaming did when Keteris did a Did You Know Gaming episode looking at the Simpsons games. He did mention on why Harry Shearer couldn't reprise any of his roles in the Simpsons arcade game. As for what do I think about Shrek 40? Also really funny. I especially enjoyed when he gets scared over the Cat in the Hat. When the Cat in the Hat was going all Freddy Krueger on him, let alone Skeletor in this case. As for what do I think about Escape from Tomorrow? Thought it's pretty good. I'm glad he managed to include a gluten-free joke. Being as somebody who used to be gluten-free, dairy-free, then I go to... Don't get me wrong, I can still eat whatever I want, even if it has wheat or milk. But, yeah. As for what do I think about, for Best General Series being Vaulting. Okay, then. As for what do I think about vaulting, Batman Returns, I thought it's a pretty good episode. As for what do I think about vaulting, we're back at Dinosaur Story. I thought it's a pretty good episode. I'm definitely going to take Morgan's word to watch We're Back at Dinosaur Story for myself. And unfortunately, this would be the last time Morgan would ever get a Mr. Code Award, let alone any award in general for that matter. In case if you're wondering how come we didn't get see Vaulting getting more Mr. Code Awards after that year, we do have to be understanding that at that time, Morgan was no longer a part of Mr. Code and Friends. And plus, he had to take too long in making a vaulting episode. But I respect his wish. If he needs to take some time, I respect that. But anyways, as for what do I think about vaulting, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Thought it's a pretty good episode, I must say. As for what do I think about this new radio drama he made called, hold on one moment. Being Agent Shade. Let's just say it is considered to be, might as well call it, a Silent Mansion ripoff. Why would I call it that? Well, let's just say it all comes down to certain jokes you would toss out that involve being malicious towards me for who I am as a person, especially as somebody who's autistic and somebody who's Jewish as well. And, yeah. But if I had anything positive to say about Agent Shade, give it this. At least Morgan does have the decency and understanding based on how copyright works, let alone fair use. I can and will gladly give him that. So, let's just say unlike when Azuchi Guardian does Silent Mansion, when Morgan does Agent Shade, he doesn't false out. He doesn't illegally claim rights to other people's shows or crap like that. Not even mine. Whereas, as much as I'm still bummed out to see that he didn't like what I did to him back in June 2016, I will also give him credit, give him extra points, give him major kudos for the fact that he didn't get to sue me at all, thankfully. And yet, he would sue Mike Mixtape for making a video addressing him. Making a video where he was going all Chris Chan on Morgan, which I find to be not very nice. Speaking of Morgan Ledger, before I can go, there's one last thing I definitely would like to address before I can close up this particular special vlog. Now, I noticed when I did my last monthly update vlog back in June 2016, I noticed there are people whose names I will not mention who would didn't like to think that when I was talking about Morgan in there, I was harassing him. No, I am not. Now, the part when I did personally discuss Morgan Ledger in my June 2016 update vlog, if you guys want to know why I did such a thing, now I'm going to ask you all nicely to please keep an open mind when I say this. Okay? Thank you. Anyways, the real reason why I would, if you guys are all wondering why I would ever consider talking about Morgan Ledger's departure from Mr. Cohen and Friends, well, you people should all keep an open mind about the fact that, well, that when I did talk about that, there's a good reason why I did that. Now, when I personally first heard the sad news that Morgan Ledger had to leave Mr. Cohen and Friends, I just knew I personally had to talk about it, considering how saddened I personally felt when it happened. The same reason why I would ever consider talking about the departure of the discontinuation of Disney Infinity in my May 2016 update vlog. Basically, it's the same thing, actually. I hope you all understand why I would ever consider talking about Morgan Ledger, my June 2016 update vlog. And that is all I have to talk about today. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!